Hi,
Hello.
Louise.
Hello, Jason.
And welcome
Thank
back.
you.
It's Louise Blakeway, graduated from the HND Fine Art. 2011, do we think? 2011?
Yes. Yeah.
2011.
Yeah.
It's fantastic to have you here, back with
you.
us. What I'd like to do is just to talk about the HND and your experiences on the HND, but also if we could start with your kind of build up to the HND. What was before the HND?
Just to cut a long story short, I did go to art college after high school, at Stourbridge Art College, dropped out after a year and then worked. But always still kept going to Stourbridge College because they used to have night schools.
Yes.
They used to have life drawing, and then I had children, and decided to chuck my job in and go for a fine art degree.
Okay.
But I'd been doing a City and Guilds night school at Stourbridge College, and it was more of an interior decorative course.
Okay.
And one of the tutors on the course, Kate Clues, suggested that I do a HND, but she said textiles, and I'm like, no. Oh no. So she got me an interview with Di to do the HND, but Di felt that I wasn't ready. She said that I'd be better off doing foundation. Right. So I did it part-time for 2 years, and it was amazing. But I really wanted to do the HND as well, because we were always intrigued by the Little House and Linda Drury.
Yeah, of course.
And we knew she was just a force, you know,
absolutely.
an amazing tutor. We were like, I knew I was going to do the HND because I didn't really feel ready for uni.
Okay.
It was still a bit of a pipe dream, thinking, you know, I can't possibly go to university. That's not going to. But then. So I did the HND full time for 2 years, and it was amazing.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, so that's kind of your little bit of backstory, a little bit of history as to how you got there.
Yeah.
When you did eventually get onto the HND.
Yeah.
Can you talk about initially? Can we talk about kind of dynamic of the group?
Yeah.
And how you?
Yeah. So I mean, we were mainly sort of mature students. Quite a few of us were like mothers or retired students, and I just felt it. I think it just felt a bit more serious. We weren't just there because we've got nothing else better to do. You know, we weren't just there because we just thought it would be a laugh to do something like that.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone there was quite serious. You know. And it was good, and like there was always a good atmosphere, and we all really got on all the time. You know, it was a really good group actually.
Yeah.
I think we were quite lucky.
Yes, a good year.
Yeah, and even like, like people like Steve, I think was a year above. I think, and then we'd got a couple of people that obviously the year below once I was into the second year, and we just had a really good group actually. It was really,
fantastic.
I got a lot out of it.
Good.
And to be honest, having a tutor like Linda, who was just so on the ball and totally always making you question your work. Why are you making this? Making sure it looked as good as it could, even like the presentation as well. I've still got Linda in my head when you know. And to be fair, I'm so glad I did it because when I got to uni, you had none of that.
Right.
You were left on your own. You left on your own a lot, which I was ready for. That was fine by me. But I just thought uni was a doddle after. Absolutely. Because there wasn't that.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, there just wasn't that intensive critique. You know, that critique that you got here. I mean, even in foundation, you know, you were always having to stand up for your work.
Of course.
You know, why are you making that? And I just didn't get that at uni.
Right. Okay.
So I just thought uni was easy.
Yeah.
Ish. Apart from obviously like childcare issues.
Yeah.
You know, the actual making the work. Was or getting through things like deadlines and stuff like that. I just found it okay.
So yeah, so you've talked about how the HND has kind of equipped you.
Yeah.
Could you go into a little bit more detail, certainly in terms of maybe the second year, in terms of HND equipping you? I know that you do a professional practice course or module.
Oh yeah.
Within. So can you talk a little bit more detail about the maybe certain projects you did?
Yeah. Well, this wasn't in the second year. I think it was a first year project. I think it was the very first project.
Yeah.
But I always still refer to it as the drawing project.
Okay.
Because I love drawing.
Yeah, of course.
And I like being experimental with the drawing. So that one I absolutely loved. And then the second year modules, I think you just chose it depended what your interests were.
Right. Okay.
So I went down the painting route, and I did printmaking as well, because that was another thing that I really loved doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember. And the professional practice side allowed you to go and allowed you to sort of find spaces, especially like local spaces as well. And to connect with other people, try and get your work into sort of galleries. And Linda would always tell us about to look for open call outs. Things like journal. God, who gets into that?
Yeah.
But I did get into a few. I don't know whether I actually got. Yeah, I did actually. I got into a few while I was at college, like towards the end.
Of course.
And then I've been in some like London exhibitions since leaving. So like I'm always still looking.
Okay, fantastic.
But yeah, I think it just made you a bit more professional about your work. Like not just although I do it, like just put your work on the floor and tread all out. Leave it. Yeah. Just have a bit more sort of respect and a bit of professionalism in your work and stuff. So yeah, it was good.
So in terms of because you talked about your tutor Linda, who was obviously key.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how maybe peer assessments Can you talk about maybe how other students during the critique process, how they informed or stretched you? Did that happen? Or was it mainly?
I would always say probably not so much.
Okay.
Anywhere, even at uni, I think everyone's too polite.
Right.
Yeah. And
yeah.
It's like, oh, that's really good. Oh, I love that. Yeah, but that's all. But whereas, I suppose the tutors.
Yeah.
Particularly Linda. Would,
cutting.
Yes. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Tears sometimes. That was I was glad to get, when I got to uni and no one was like, I was like, wow,
that's nice.
Even that, it was a bit too polite, even the group crit, it was all too very, instead of, and there was never any sort of real criticism. It was like, oh, have you looked at this artist, or do you think you could try this? It was never like, well, what is that? Why have you done that?
Yeah.
I mean, what is it?
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But yeah, I do feel that I think people are too polite. Okay. I suppose you don't want to upset anybody, do you? I think you want the tutors to do that to you.
Yes. Yes. We don't intentionally make any students cry.
No, I know, but But I think once you get really intensely like working on you, when you're sort of in a bit of a bubble, you're working
of course.
and you can't really see what it is you're doing, and until someone else looks at it, and says, well, I don't think that's what are you trying to say in that? And you think, oh, maybe she's right, but it's good because I just think you've got to be able to take criticism. Otherwise, you're not going to develop. And also, these sort of open call exhibitions that you enter or you apply for jobs after, and you don't get them, and you're just really devastated.
Yeah.
And then you just have to think, well, doesn't matter. I'm going to carry on.
Pick yourself up.
Yeah. And I just think if you can't take criticism, you can't be. I don't think you can be a professional artist if you can't take. I mean, you know, who goes into a gallery and likes absolutely everything that's
Well,
in
yeah,
there?
exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A slightly different question.
Yeah.
Let's cough together. In terms of the type of student that you would perhaps, or the type of person you would suggest does come onto the H&D, and perhaps the type of student that shouldn't come onto the H&D.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I think because the HND had got a good reputation, I wanted to do the course, and I knew it was I think I knew it was a serious course.
Yeah.
Slightly more academic, you know, and there was a lot of writing, and research, which I really, you know, I still do it. My practice is very research led. So I think if you want that side of it, definitely, and also if you feel that you're not quite ready for uni. Although I will say I did think the HND was way better than the degree, to be fair. But you have to. The degree. I suppose you've got to get your degree, haven't you? You can't, you know.
Yeah, but then you were equipped with the HND, so on the degree.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously a lot of students don't have that backup or that
No.
previous kind of critical rigour.
No, and I also feel if you're not ready to be a bit more independent with your practice and your, you know, your learning, because once you're at uni, it is very much. I'm not sure what the first year's like because I didn't do the first year. I went straight to second year.
Of course.
But you wouldn't see the tutor for a month. You know.
Yeah. Of course.
And it was very rare that they were around if you wanted to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you could email them and they'd get back to you.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
there was no there wasn't like a great physical presence.
No.
But there were technicians that you could go and talk to.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time in the print room. So the technician there was amazing.
Yeah, of course.
But I think you've got to be quite confident and sure in your practice with a degree.
Yeah.
Because you can flounder a bit, you know. I think, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could, yeah. I saw it when I was at uni, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that some students just ended up making work that the tutors liked.
Yes.
And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't like it.
So next, could you talk again in a little bit of detail? Could you select a project from the HND that you worked on? It could be your final project or first project, and go into a little bit of detail in terms of mediums used, techniques used, and perhaps outcome.
Yeah. Well, my final project, it was. I think it ended up being an installation, but I wasn't sure that wasn't what I was thinking of at the time.
I think I remember it.
Yes, it was. It was quite dark.
It was quite dark.
But because I really enjoy process, and I don't. God, I did everything. I was making my own surfaces. Printmaking, drawing, painting. I did a bit of I mean, not that I'm a sculptor, and it's all very basic. It was very low level.
Yeah.
Just
lo-fi.
Very lo-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was. I think I was using materials that were trying to that were metaphorical or meant something.
Yeah, of course.
But I think also you've got that time to play as well. So there was never any great pressure to, although there were deadlines and things, you've got to have some idea where you were going, which I didn't always have. But I knew sort of vaguely. But I just kept thinking, if I just keep pushing, just keep going. I know I'll get there in the end.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think I think Linda's hair was standing on it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll do, you know, it'll all be fine. But yeah, so I used like a bit like sort of things like very, again, lo-fi photography, because that was never a strength of mine either.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, just all sort of like just but being experimental with everything, which is what I really love.
Absolutely.
And which I found actually when I went to uni, they sort of tried. They didn't like that. They pushed me down the painting. Oh, you're a figurative painter.
Okay.
And I'm like, am I?
Okay.
Well, I do like doing that, but I don't think that's all I do.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. So I don't think they sort of they didn't seem to like it if you weren't quite sure what little bracket you know.
Okay.
So I found that being at the college was
far
more open and you've got that time and space to experiment a bit more.
Yeah.
And I think I always say, like, I think some of the better work, like through that sort of process, was made here rather than at uni.
Yeah, of course.
Which is interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally,
I'm not doing very well from uni, am I? Don't go to uni.
Finally, in terms of you, post degree, post HND, post degree.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little bit of an idea of perhaps what's happened in the last few years or something in terms of your practice?
Yeah. So once I left uni, I did flounder for about 6 months because I'm just like.
It's traditional. It's kind of. The
good. Yeah, because I just thought, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I've got no one to talk to. Yeah, it was quite difficult. I did find it difficult, but since college I'd had studios in different places, so I did manage to get a studio, I think towards the end of uni at Strix in Digbeth.
Yeah.
So I was there for a bit and then I moved to another studio down at the Jubilee Works. And that didn't work out either, to be fair. It was a bit, so I've always had a studio. I've got which is good.
Yeah.
I think everyone needs a space to work, even if it's at home. I've had a period at home, and then I've had. I was quite lucky. Well, I don't know whether I was lucky because it was never my intention to teach. That was never going to happen.
Right.
But I ended up. I think I came here to do a visit for Di, and then some of the students were like, "Oh, how did you do that? Can you show us how to do that? Do you do workshops?" And I was like, "Well, no, I don't, but I can." So I started doing that, and then somehow got into actually being paid to teach. Only like.
Don't quite know how you got there, but.
Well, it was a bit of a weird thing, but I think I just started off teaching. Did I? Oh, I did a few after-school clubs at the primary school where my kids were, and then often then I taught some art societies and I work at MAC now, and I've worked at Icon. I worked at Icon Gallery while I was at college actually, just in the galleries.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
I did a lot of my reading for my dissertation.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. No, it was a good experience. But they're always looking for a casual worker, so that is a good route. For
Absolutely.
To go down. It's a good experience.
Yeah.
Especially the contact with the artworks and getting to know how they hang at exhibitions and it's good contact as well.
Absolutely.
So I'm still in contact with quite a lot of people there.
That's good.
Although I've yet to be included in anything, I'm not in the clique. So and then I do like little projects. I do freelance teaching, but a lot of it is hard. It can be hard work, and there's periods because I'm part self-employed.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, I have periods of no work, which can be annoying.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then, I've been quite lucky as well that I've got work into exhibitions. So I think my only claim to fame at the minute is that I got a piece next to Tracy Evans.
Okay.
I think that was the year I graduated, and it all went down at no.
Which show was that?
It was called. Was it called Spirit of Womanhood or something? It was for International Women's Week or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she just don't. I mean, it was I didn't meet her or anything. And the only reason I knew that my work was next to hers was because I missed totally the private view and everything.
Right.
Couldn't get down there.
Okay.
But the day I went to pick my work up because it was the end of the exhibition, I just saw it was next to hers, and I was like, oh my god, you're joking. So I was like, look at me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I've and I've got into a few of the London exhibitions and some like locally ones as well.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, and there might be a few. I don't think I've had anything of much note recently, just because it's get expensive to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep applying.
Yeah.
But I suppose you've got it as well. Yeah. But it is quite a battle. It's always a bit of a battle. Yeah.
Resilient.
Yes. Determined.
Resilient. Yeah. Finally, you're thinking about an MA, aren't you?
I am.
Can you tell us a little bit, just to finish off, tell us a little bit about MA.
Well, it's always been my intention to go to the Slade.
Following in a certain tutor's footsteps?
I know Linda Drury did go there, but it's just like all the artists that I love. Well, most of the artists I love went there.
Right.
Like Roger Hilton and I think Lucia Freud taught there. There's just too many to mention.
Yeah, of course.
Every time I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether it's. I wouldn't say it's fate exactly, but I don't know. And I've done a few short courses there, so I spent 2 weeks in the summer last year doing a summer school there. So yeah, it's just whether they'll have me. I don't know. You don't know, do you?
No.
You don't know what they're looking for.
Okay. That could be exciting.
Well, it could be exciting and devastating at the same time if they reject me. Mind you, my friend, she applied to Royal College 3 times and didn't get in the first. Obviously, didn't get in the first 2 times. But yeah. So yeah, but I'll probably just go and look at all of them. It's always been the Slade.
Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in. It's been fantastic. Just to briefly catch up with you. Yeah. And I feel like we should do this again in maybe a year's time, just to see where you are.
Yeah,
and just to track your progress.
Yeah. Living in a tent.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks.